Welcome to Scottsdale, Arizona. Centuries ago, this area was inhabited by the Native American tribe known as the Hohokam Indians. Today, it's called the West's most western town. This warm and wonderful city is home to many kinds of cactus: saguaro cactus, prickly pear cactus, barrel cactus, and you'll even see a cowboy ride into town on a horse, wearing his blue jeans, his western shirt, and his cowboy hat, mixing with ladies who lunch and shop at the world-renowned shopping center called Scottsdale Fashion Square. In the heart of Scottsdale is Scottsdale Community College, located on the Salt River Pima Indian Reservation. It's been part of the Maricopa Community College District for over 35 years. And today, we'll be seeing a show produced by students in the TV studio production class. It's called Saguaro Spotlight, an interview show with a filmmaker. You can see this show and all other shows produced by this class on the website called youtube.com/user/MPTV broadcast. So welcome to Saguaro Spotlight. I'll be your host, Deanne Kincaid. Hello, this is indeed Saguaro Spotlight, and today's guest is filmmaker Antonio Morales. Welcome to the show, Tony.
Thanks, good to be here.
I'm so excited to talk about your film. It's called The Boss, Silhouette of Evil.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that with kind of a sly look in my eye because I want to know, what was your inspiration for this story?
Yeah, it's just kind of amalgamation of a bunch of different experiences that I had working in the service industry, office jobs, where a boss would get let go and somebody under them would take their place and end up being exactly the same as the previous one.
Repeating the cycle of abuse,
right,
so to speak.
Exactly, yeah, yeah.
So we're going to look at this this film in just a moment, but I want to hear also, what class did you do this film? You created this for one of the classes at Scottsdale School of Film and Theater. What class was that?
It's for the block, which is TCM 134, 135, and 136. Yeah.
And I understand they call the block class Film Boot Camp.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell us why that is.
It's basically because all three of those classes are 5 weeks and they're all smashed together. So you're learning pre-production, production, and post-production all at the same time. So.
Well, not quite all at the same time, but at least in one semester.
Right,
First
yeah.
you learn 5 weeks of pre-production.
And then 5 weeks of production.
Production, and then 5 weeks of
post-production, yeah, yeah.
That crams a lot into one semester.
Yeah, and it's one of the first classes you have to take, so they kind of just throw you right into it, and it's sink or swim, basically, yeah.
But it's a great learning experience.
Oh yeah, it set me up for the rest of my experience here at SCC, and I'm really grateful that I was able to have that, so yeah.
Well, let's get right to sharing your film with the viewers so that we can talk about all the making of. So we're going to roll that film right now. Let us see The Boss, Silhouette of Evil.
What is it?
From the den of the desert, with the changing of the weather, comes the breaking of the body, the kill of the coyote. When the meaning is the measure, is the blue Indian feather, and adorned in a headdress, I embrace the obelisk. Down to the grindstone, it's all the same, it's everything that I've known. What a lie, a walking contradiction. You justify every superstition, every superstition. Take the pill, forget all of your sorrow. Take the shot, we'll see you tomorrow. A cigarette burning in the basement, bottoms up, watch it hit the pavement. Watch it hit the pavement. Like a fly wrestling a spider, dig the heart in everything inside her. Oh my God, the sun is in the people. Watch it that silhouette of evil.
Antonio, that's almost a music video.
Yeah, pretty much.
How did you choose the music for the background of that?
Well, when I was trying to edit this footage together, I was contemplating whether or not what to do with it, and that was one of the first songs that I thought of. For some reason, it just popped up in my head.
Oh, so you had the film before the music?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well, that's interesting, and it fits.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, I don't know what hit me, but yeah, I just that for some reason that song popped up in my head, and Black Carl is one of my favorite bands. So yeah.
Very cool. So
Yeah.
tell me, was this done on film or video?
We shot this on 16 millimeter film. Yeah.
What kind of camera?
That was a Canon Scoopik.
A Scoopik.
Yeah.
What era is that from?
I think it was made in the 70s, and originally it was a field camera for journalists. I think they used them in Vietnam and stuff like that. At least that's what they told us in class. So yeah.
So maybe not the latest equipment. So you
No.
really get to have trial by fire in
Yeah,
this. I
exactly.
see.
Yeah.
So now you have 16 millimeter film, which you get
Right.
developed.
Yep.
How do you get that converted to something that you can put in a computer and edit digitally?
We sent it off to a company in Boston who scanned the footage in 1080p HD, and then they sent us that file back for us to edit. So yeah.
And what did you edit on?
A program called Avid. It's a
Avid.
video editing software. So
Now, if I understand correctly, when you're filming on 16 millimeter in that particular camera, there's no sound.
yeah. Right. Yeah.
But yet, other than the music, there was sound in this film. So
Yeah.
where did that come from?
Well, in the first scene of the film, I added Foley to the scene to make all the different sounds, like the keyboard typing, the phone ringing, and then the one line of dialogue of her talking into the phone. That was all added in post-production. So yeah.
Well, tell the viewers exactly what Foley is.
Foley is just the process of adding either in-studio made sounds or sounds from a sound library to a project in post-production when you're editing. It's not stuff that you capture on set. So, yeah.
So if you had a video of somebody beating a drum,
Yeah.
you would put that in the computer and then beat the drum on a microphone
Yeah,
and lay that sound
exactly, where you're having to sync the actual sounds
Wow.
with what's
in with
happening.
the action.
Yep, and yeah, and that's what they had to do. I think in the silent era was a lot of that because they didn't
Sure.
have sound on film either. So yeah, like people walking, yeah, footsteps, yeah.
So I want to salute you for casting an actor in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah.
It gave a nice diversity to the office personnel there.
Yeah, Kaylin was great to work with too. Yeah.
That was good. She really
Yeah.
looked cool in that bar scene where she rolls up at the
Yeah,
last
that was
minute.
a great visual gag too. Yeah.
So how did you find your actors?
Well, Hector actually was in one of my classes here at SCC, but all the other actors I found through a website called Durantcom, durantcom.com actually, yeah.
And that's a good resource for all filmmakers to be able to access actors and other filmmaking professionals or
Yeah,
students
absolutely.
through durantcom.com. We'll sort of give them a little plug. Now, Hector was the one with the bushy hair.
yeah.
He was
yeah.
a great character.
Yeah, he was great. He worked out really well, yeah. Yeah.
So how did you find your location?
Well, the bar scene in particular, that was a local bar, the Palo Verde Lounge, which I had gone to several times before with my friends. I think it's the oldest dive bar in Tempe, and the owner was kind enough to let us use his space. And he actually showed up to open the bar after closing it at 4 or 5 in the morning, I think it was. The bartender who was supposed to open it slept in, and he came in at 8 or 9 to help us out, so that was great.
A lucky break there, because
Yeah.
if you're filming at a location that's doing business, you can't film while they're open for business.
Right, yeah.
So a lot of shoots occur in the dead of night.
Right, yep, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Now, you also had an outdoor shoot.
Yep.
Tell me what the challenges were at that location.
Yeah, well, it was the only scene that we shot outdoors, and my first assistant camera was sick that day. He was not feeling great at all, and we got a weird reading on the light meter, and the shot ended up being totally overexposed, which was unfortunate, but I ended up throwing a black and white filter on it, which ended up working out really well, I think, visually, so yeah.
It gave a nice break between the kind of the saturated colors of the office and the bar, and then this black and white scene where all the evil takes
Right,
place.
Yeah, exactly.
In
yeah.
fact, one of the ladies actually loses her lunch in that scene.
Yeah, she does.
How did you simulate that?
I can't remember who suggested it to me, but somebody suggested drinking water and chewing a banana, and so that's what I had her do. And yeah, visually it definitely looked like throw up. So yeah.
Yeah, it looked chunky.
Yeah, yeah, real chunky. Yeah.
Well, so she just held all that in her mouth and then spit it out on
Yep.
cue?
Yeah, and then I gave her the cue and she threw it all up. So
Well, that's
yeah.
good. Well, that's
Yep.
another note for future filmmakers, how to simulate vomit.
Yeah, yeah.
You learn all kinds of things on
Right.
this show.
Yeah, every day.
So you had challenges with lighting and you had challenges with location.
Yeah.
Tell me what else happened to you on this. How did your crew react? I mean, you have a crew from within the class, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How did that work out?
For the most part, like they were all really helpful. I think really like the biggest challenge that we had was we lost an hour when we got to the bar, and that bartender wasn't there, so we were already behind schedule. And then Hector, I love him, but he was 2 hours late to set. So, but he actually ended up being kind of on time because of how far behind we were pushed. So yeah.
And that's the nature of filmmaking.
Yep.
I mean, it's a dynamic process.
Yeah, yeah.
What did you do for pre-production?
It was a lot of work. I think you end up having the script and you break down the script and you have the shot list for every single shot, and then the shooting order, so which is not always the same as the shot list. You're trying to arrange it in a way that makes the most sense efficiently. Storyboarding, lighting diagrams, like
Wow.
as much as you can get done in pre-production, it saves you when you get to set and you know exactly what's going to be happening. So yeah.
So you were the writer, producer, videographer, set design, production design, editor.
Yeah.
Here's the big question. Did
Yeah.
this film turn out the way you envisioned it?
Yeah, I think a lot of the challenges and different things that came up on set, it's a little bit frustrating, but that's something that you end up learning is sometimes that those challenges end up, the finished product ends up being better than what you thought. Especially that whole black and white thing, that's something I would have never thought of doing unless I had that overexposed shot, so yeah.
Well, you have to make do because you can't lose that whole shot.
Right.
That was essential to the story.
It really was, and I couldn't go back for reshoots, so yeah.
No, indeed. So
Yeah.
what are you planning to do for the future?
I'm submitting a short film for the May 2018 Scottsdale Community College Film Festival called Checking Out. And then from April 4th to the 8th, I'm the writer and director of the capstone film here at SCC. And we're going to be shooting that. It's going to be 12-hour days for 5 days. Yeah, and we're hopefully going to have a screening in December of 2018 of that at a local theater. And if you want, you can check out our progress at facebook.com/lastcall2018 or on Instagram at lastcall2018.
And Last Call is the name of the film.
Yep, yeah.
Well, it's a pretty big deal to be selected as the writer and producer, did you say?
Writer and director, yeah.
Writer and director for
Yeah.
the Capstone Project at
Yeah.
the Scottsdale School of Film and Theater.
Right.
So I wish you the best with that because I know that's very heavy, hard production.
It is, but luckily I have a great team and a great cast, and I'm really looking forward to working with everyone. So.
Well, we won't give away any secrets.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see that film on this show maybe sometime in the future.
Yep, hopefully, yeah, it'd be great.
So I want to thank our guest, Antonio Morales, for telling us all about his film today. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I'm your host, Deanne Kincaid. Thank you for watching Saguaro Spotlight. That.